Okay, should be going live. I think I'm live. I should be live. Should be good. And I think we are. I think we're live. Morning, morning, morning. Audio's good. That is great. Morning, everyone. Night City Wire, episode 5. We're about to do it. I will be on camera in just 1 second. This Night City Wire will be about Johnny Silverhand. It will be about the soundtrack, and it sounds like more. So we'll see what else they have in store. They're calling this the biggest one yet. So I'm excited to see it. Excited to see what they got. That out. Good morning to everyone. Evening, wherever you are in the world. Share this out on social media. I appreciate it. Looks like we got 16 minutes to go. Oh, Daniel, thank you for that super chat. No idea. I hope the collector's edition comes in time. I would think with all these damn delays, it should be ready to go and we get it in time. From that day I walked out, the first viewing. Yeah, it's been a crazy ride, man. Absolute crazy ride these past 2 years, but it's been worth it. What is going on, everyone that is joining? Thank you for hanging out with me. I truly appreciate this. Should be fun. Looks like we are at 15 minutes. Haha. You're building a PC, so what specs are you going for? What are you trying to do? You trying to play at 1440p? Trying to play at 4K? Let me know. Wait, what's the PS5 question? Because I did see they are going to show some PS4 gameplay here before launch, it looks like. So we will see some PS5 gameplay, or PS4 gameplay. But obviously it'll work on PS5 as well. Making it out of junk, 30 FPS on 1080p is all you need. No, hey, you do what you gotta do, man. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, I saw a tweet from someone at CDP Arts saying that they would be showing PS4 gameplay. So we will get that. But yes, Cyberpunk, CD Projekt Red and Microsoft have a marketing agreement, so that's why you've seen everything Xbox related when it comes to the marketing, things like that. But I do expect, you know, when it'll be fine on the PlayStation 4 and 5 as well, just like we saw with the Xbox, which should look fine to me. Yeah, I'm happy we got Tom Brady. I was very skeptical at first, being that he's 43 years old, but I mean, he's still playing at a high level, man. So, it's these next couple games will be interesting with the Rams and Kansas City, but we should make the playoffs, and which has been a very long time. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, this soundtrack, I'm actually very excited to see the soundtrack when they debut all this stuff, because I mean, you just look at all the artists that they have lined up, and obviously that Run the Jewels video that came out last week was on fire good. So yeah, I'm excited to see the full lineup. My right shoulder background is like, what is my right shoulder? Oh, yeah. I actually have other stuff over there. Oh, I guess, well, no, you can't see it. Yeah, you can't see it. I have, wait, is it in the camera? Can you see it? Wait, hold on. I'll get completely out of the way. Yeah, this is the Herman Miller chair. I'm obviously not sitting in it, but this thing is awesome as well. I will have to run it through its course and tell you what I think, but it's extremely comfortable so far. I'm gonna pull it back, see it more. No, you can't see it there. There you go. Now you can see it. So, yeah, that's the Herman Miller chair. So I have that as well. Obviously, it's Night City Wire, so I'm sitting in the Cyberpunk chair. But oh, this is cool. Over there. Yep, I got a blanket because it's freaking cold. Actually, Peter, hold on. As you mentioned this, let me read something really quick here. Good. I'll have to read into this more, but I literally just got an email from Herman Miller about being a part of their affiliate program, being able to offer a discount for the chair and some of the other Herman Miller products. So after I read through this more, I will talk about that on social media and probably on the next GTR. But it looks like I will be able to give a discount for the chair. Oh, someone. Oh, hold on a second. I'm looking at the wrong chat. So, yes, this is a Herman Miller chair, but it is a gaming chair. So, they work with Logitech on this. So, it is the Herman Miller. Hold on. I want to get the right name because I will jack the whole thing up if I don't. Hold on. I want to tell you the right name. Give me 1 second. 1 second. It is the Herman Miller X Logitech G Embody gaming chair. That's what that is. So they partner with Logitech. Herman Miller, obviously, who's known for their high-end products. They designed this gaming chair. And we're under 10 minutes to Night City Wire. But they designed this game chair, and it's about comfort. It's super comfortable, all the ergonomics, all the good things that go with that. Like I said, I've only had it less than a day, so I don't want to jump too far into impressions, but just sitting in it is definitely more comfortable than when I'm sitting in it right now, for sure. But I'll have more to talk about it soon. Yeah, it's a $1,500 chair. It is not cheap. Have I checked out Assassin's Creed Valhalla? Yes, I have. And basically what I said during the preview is what I still think about the game. It's not terrible, but look, I'm just keeping it real. I played Assassin's Creed right after I played Cyberpunk, and it was like night and freaking day. So I think that, and the same kind of applies to Watch Dogs for me too, where I know what the next big leap in open world RPG games it looks like. So playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, it felt like a step back. It's not terrible. It does have bugs. But I feel like I've played this already. I'm just playing another Odyssey. You know what I'm saying? Another Origins. They haven't taken the next leap with Valhalla, in my opinion. So a little disappointed when it comes to that. I understand a lot of people are going to love it, and I'm not trying to take away from it. But it's not something, at least right now, I'm going to invest a super lot of time in, because that's not necessarily the open world I want to invest my time into right now. Yeah, if anything, Ghost of Tsushima is a superior game to Valhalla, in my opinion. I feel like Sucker Punch made a better Assassin's Creed than even Ubisoft could. Just looking at chat, looks like we are at 8 minutes. What blasphemy? What's blasphemy? What did I say? Ubisoft's not lame. Ubisoft makes great games. I just... They need to do something else with Assassin's Creed. I guess that's kind of my point. I don't mind that they're going down this RPG path, but it feels very by the book cookie cutter to me. I don't feel like, especially as we go into this next generation of gaming, like they took a big leap with it. And But again, I'm biased because I played, again, just keeping it real, I played Cyberpunk, and Cyberpunk is vastly superior to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I can tell you that right now. It is. So I'm biased when it comes to that. So don't listen to me when it comes to Assassin's Creed. If you're loving Assassin's Creed, love it. But, you know, because I loved Odyssey. I loved Origins. It's not that they're terrible. But, yeah, I know where I'm going to invest my time over the next few months. It won't be in Valhalla. Did Danny move across the country to talk over you in person? Yes, because he absolutely did that Saturday. He just talked over me the entire time. Rag it out. I don't know if he's in the chat or not. All right, looks like we're coming up on 6 minutes. Do you know something about using a steering wheel in Cyberpunk? I doubt that there's going to be steering wheel support in Cyberpunk. I don't know that for sure, but I'm going to assume no. I look breathtaking. What's going on, Reggie? There was something I was going to say to you, Reggie. Now I can't remember. But I'll remember it later. But good to see you, man. Do you think Cyberpunk is going to be the new benchmark for open world? I kind of think so. I mean, from what I saw, I mean, you even saw with that Xbox gameplay, kind of what I was talking about. I think yes. I mean, we'll see. Right now, it's probably Red Dead Redemption 2, I would say. I think this is going to take it an even higher level, but I could be wrong. We'll see when we get the final game. What do I think of Yakuza Like a Dragon? I think Yakuza Like a Dragon isn't what I expected it to be. Being more turn-based RPG was not what I thought it was going to be. A lot of people are telling me to go play Yakuza 0. So it's not bad, but again, it's not for me. That style of RPG isn't what I necessarily want to play right now. Oh, Tondi, thank you. I appreciate that. What is my favorite game on the Xbox Series X right now? Believe it or not, it's Gears 5. I've not played... I'll say this about Series X. Gears 5 seems to be kind of the showcase. That and Forza Horizon 4, just graphically. Halo 5, while still not the Halo game I want, looks and plays a lot better on Series X. Kind of surprised me. I've not done Master Chief Collection yet, so I can't comment on that or the 120 frame stuff. I would say another backwards compatible game that to me kind of feels kind of like a showcase game is Batman Arkham Knight. I would definitely recommend people check that out, and it's on Game Pass. I played The Witcher 3 a million times, so I haven't played that on Game Pass, but I know the load times and all that are super. I played a lot of it, I should say, but I know the load times and all that are super fast on that. But Gears 5 to me seems like the showcase for it. Read about the next gen update coming next year. Was that always? No. That was always the plan. We weren't getting the next gen upgrade day and date with the launch of the game. I don't know what you mean. You love my take about things in regards to 60 FPS, but you disagree. I love my single player open world games in 30, but for multiplayer. So here's the thing with 60 and 30. So like Spider-Man Miles Morales is a great example of this. I played Miles Morales in fidelity mode at 30 frames. Single player game, open world, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, the performance mode does 60 frames, but it looks better and plays just fine at 30. So I'm completely fine with that. When I talk more about 60 frames per second stuff, look, if a game can do it and have all the bells and whistles on, of course I'm going to play it that way. But if I got to make a choice, then I would take 30 in single player, but I would want 60 frames or higher in a multiplayer game. That's the way I look at it. What's my favorite ColecoVision game? The Smurfs. Go look it up. That's my favorite ColecoVision game. Hey, good morning to everyone in the chat now. Appreciate all you guys hanging out with me for this. This is, looks like we're coming up on the 2-minute warning. 8K 40 frames. That's funny. And Danny Pena is here. What's going on, Danny? Make sure you share this out on social media. Let everyone know we're going to watch this. This should be fun. And I will definitely try to not talk over this while it's going. What's going on, Reef? How you doing, man? What's going on, G Shorter? Glad I could keep you company as you go to the ATL. Do you think the Series S disk drive issues are widespread? You know what, John? This is the first I'm hearing of disk drive issues with the Series X. I've not seen any, so I don't know. So maybe they're not that widespread. I have not heard that one. And we're under 2 minutes. So again, I wanna thank everybody for hanging out here. Let me switch this thing over. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the volume up. Over coverage of this game. Thank you, Levy. Will this? Yes, this will be video on demand. You can watch this later as well. All right, we're good. Because I'm getting in position to watch too, because I'm watching right here. But a bit late, but you can. Oh, you know, thank you, appreciate that. Trust me, I appreciate all the kind words here. You guys know I just freaking love the game, and I'm excited about it. So we're coming up on 1 minute. Let's watch it together, and hope we see some cool shit. Hey, thank you. I can't say thank you enough. Trust me, I appreciate all this, all the kind words here. Yep, this will be fun. All right. 30 seconds. All right, let's go ahead and lock in. We're locking in. Here we go. Ready. I will try to keep my comments to a minimum, so we can all just watch it together. But I'll keep an eye on the chat, and we'll obviously talk about it in the post show. All right, here we go.
You don't believe in no fate. Every day digging the grave. Stepping up to what it stays. City of dreams, city of...
Hello and welcome to Night City Wire episode 5, the show from us at CD Projekt Red, where we talk about all things Cyberpunk 2077. Now we're going to start today's episode with a new trailer that will take a closer look at Johnny Silverhand, before we go behind the scenes with Keanu Reeves and have a chat to English adaptation director Boris, who will tell us exactly what it was like to work with him. Then we'll be exploring the original score and talking about some of the radio stations you might listen to while driving around Night City, before we take a look at the Jolly technology, which is powering facial animation in Cyberpunk, and unveil a new My Reward scheme which anyone can take part in, no matter which platform you'll be playing Cyberpunk on. We'll then wrap up today's episode with a brand new gameplay trailer. It's a busy episode, and it will be our final episode of Night City Wire before the game launches on December 10th. So, let's get going.
go.
Where'd you even come from? How are we even talking? Gotta get out of here, understand? And I'll kill anyone who gets in my way.
You weren't dreaming, V. Those were memories. You two are connected in a way I can't make head or tail of.
Who? Me and who, Vic? Silverhand.
Johnny Silverhand. Real talk of the town back in my day.
He died, like, forever ago.
You need to say there's an actual terrorist in my head. Right now.
He burned down half the city just to prove he was right. And burned the other half just for fun.
What do you want from me? Destroy Arasaka. I don't even know what that means. Do whatever it takes to stop him, defeat him, gut him.
He already tried to take over your body. You know, just for a little while.
Hear me, asshole? A bullet to the fucking brain. Get out! Just get the fuck out! Tell me how to get rid of it.
You don't have much time left.
That relationship with
You're a
Johnny
dick,
is gonna
you know?
be so good because you can
And
trust
you're a cunt. Maybe we'll fit together after all.
I love it. I freaking love
Sometimes
it.
we like to share things with you, and other times we like to keep secrets, and it can be worth it for that big reveal. Pretty sure nobody was expecting to see Keanu Reeves on stage at E3 2019. So let's go behind the scenes to see how Keanu Reeves brought rocker boy Johnny Silverhand to life. You could say it's breathtaking.
Cyberpunk 2077, Johnny Silverhand. I've had the opportunity to do voiceover a few times. I'd worked on a cartoon. I had done some documentaries. I'd never done this much. You know you don't gotta speak out loud to talk to me. And I've processed some shit. Changed my mind. Don't want you dead anymore. You know, and got to play a character in so many kind of different ways because of different paths or threads or choices. So you almost get to play one moment, say you have a decision. Would you take a bullet for me? With 3 different behavioral attitudes. So that was fun. You know, Johnny's either a dick, or he's happy, or he's trying to convince. Know why? Because you've always been a fucking pussy, Carrie. So it's been fun, and that was kind of what I was interested in. You know, the different options that the game could play. You know, playing the same person, but with different versions of them. Motion capture, baby. Johnny Silverhand. So one of the first elements that I was involved in with the game was motion capture. I've done a fair bit of motion capture. I did it with in the Matrix films. So to start doing the motion capture for Johnny, it was all very familiar to me. The only difference, I think, technologically was how close they were going to real-time review. But creatively, it was very familiar in the sense of starting a library of gesture and the
thing about this
toolbox,
is the
let's
fact
say,
that
for
you can tell he's
the
committed to the
animators to
role, which
work
is
with
good. So
for
I
the
hope it really
character.
translates.
So you get to see Johnny as the rock star. You know, you hear about his military past, you know, and he's fighting for his survival. So he's kind of got all of these things leading into the moment of this guy. It's really a kind of an interpretation, because I think there's a Johnny Silverhand in all of us. He's got a lot of energy. He's got a good sense of humor, if not a little dark at times. He's very passionate. He cares. You know, he's kind of naive, but he's also super experienced in life. He's got certainly an appetite for life. Oh, man! No, you're wrong. He wants to change the world, you know? He has a cause that he wants to fight against the corpocracy.
Come on. Don't tell me you're not interested.
He's kind of looking for a different kind of freedom. Corps have long controlled our lives, taken lots. And now they're after our souls. At least I believed in something bigger. At least I had a cause. What CD Projekt Red has shared with me in the way that they talk about the game and what I've seen is that it's got a lot of freedom. There's so many different paths that you can play the game on. But it's not just quests of paths. It's like, who are you? How do you want to play the character?
If I gotta kill, I'll kill. If I need your body, I'll fucking take it.
You can go into action, you can go into mystery, you can problem solve in different ways. And where you go in this world, there's so much detail, there's so many different things that you can go off into that are really interesting and fun. There's a real drama to the game and emotional stakes to it. And then there's lighter sides to it. And of course, the music, production design, technologically, how cutting edge it is. I don't think there'll be a game that looks like this. Yeah, it's intense.
I take the driver, you get his side.
Oh shit.
Bye-bye.
That's probably when he kills Johnny.
Before we get into what it was like to actually work with Keanu Reeves, was it always him that you imagined as Johnny Silverhand? Was there anybody else that you ever considered having for the role?
Yeah, Holly, it was a long, arduous, extended process to imagine what Johnny Silverhand is supposed to look like, what he's supposed to sound like, what he's supposed to act like. Everybody and their great-grandmother seemed to have an idea. And the process actually involved a lot of people. The game director, character artists, writers, marketing staff. I could go on. We cast a pretty broad net initially. We considered actors. We considered enlisting actual rock stars, band frontmen to play the role. At one point, we even toyed with the idea of taking and reviving a recently deceased, longtime luminary of the recording industry. Now, some might say that it was a pipe dream to assume that we could do that technologically or otherwise. Well, I'll see you that pipe dream and raise you another, because one could easily say that it was a pipe dream to assume that we could successfully pitch to and ultimately enlist Keanu Reeves to play the role.
Now, I'm sure this is on everybody's mind right now, but what was it actually like to work with Keanu Reeves? Because even he said in the video, this was like nothing he'd ever done before.
A question that I'm sure anybody who gets to work with Keanu has to answer, and I get where it comes from. Keanu is a consummate professional. When he's at work, he's at work. He's completely and utterly focused.
Yeah,
to that work, he brings his talent, he brings his art, his technical skill, and overwhelming charm. And yes, the scale and the complexity were and are dazzling. Non-linearities, the variation in attitude, mood, emotion that are required to achieve them, they can be difficult to get your head around. And if you take all of Johnny Silverhand's bits, his screen time, it's like doing the equivalent of many, many feature film roles put together. And we covered all that in a handful of mocap sessions and under 24 VO recording sessions of 4 to 6 hours each. And that took focus, it took control, it took dedication, all of which Keanu provided in heaps.
So tell us a little bit more about the character of Johnny Silverhand and why he's important to the story, but also why it's important to have him played by such a powerful personality.
Okay, how do I do this without spoiling too much for gamers? In the broadest sense, I'd say Johnny Silverhand is a co-protagonist of the game rather than a sidekick. I mean, there are buddy bits in the game, but in the end, Johnny has an agenda and he pursues it. And V has an agenda and has to pursue that. And to get things done, V and Johnny have to work together. Some of the things they do are V's and some of the things they do are Johnny's, and some of them are important to both of them. That bonds gamers, I think, to both characters. Both characters' agendas become equally important. Both characters' continued existence becomes equally important. For any gamer or viewer or reader, what you have to do is create that bond between them and the protagonist or protagonists. You have to make those characters understandable to them, likable to them, lovable to them. With that understanding, even when they do something not entirely admirable or say something reprehensible, you stay committed, you stay involved, you stay bonded to them. And there's no denying casting a powerful personality, somebody who exudes charm by the truckload, helps to further all that.
So Boris, can you tell us, what does Keanu bring to Johnny Silverhand?
What Keanu brings to Johnny Silverhand is nothing more and nothing less than Keanu. I could parse that into a string of adjectives, but I kind of think that would be borderline insulting because it wouldn't begin to do him justice. To anybody who's seen the applicable movies, Neo is Keanu, Keanu is Neo.
Crowd.
John Wick is Keanu, Keanu is John Wick.
Day,
John
man.
Constantine, Johnny Mnemonic, Jonathan Harker, Johnny Utah, they're all Keanu. And to anyone who will play Cyberpunk 2077, Johnny Silverhand will be Keanu. To my mind, at least, star power is a fact and an important factor for broad sections of the audience out there.
So can you give us more information about the process of motion capture, right? Because we saw you in the video, doing some of it, but really, how does it work?
I wish I could, Holly, but I'm really no mocap expert, and I can basically tell you what the day looked like, what the process looked like to me. To me, it was a fine day in LA, and I put on a wonky-looking bodysuit with globules all over it, and I put on the head cam, and then we proceeded to block and then play out scenes between V and Johnny, and we did it over and over and over again. As we did that, I must have poked Johnny in the chest hundreds of times, and I must have yelled "fuck off" at Johnny 35 times, well, I never expected to be doing any of that. No, I never imagined I'd be doing any of that.
Well, Boris, thank you so much for joining us. Your voice in the studio is quite iconic. So whenever I talk to you, I feel like I'm in a trailer. It's amazing.
It's not all that. It's not all that, Holly. Thank you.
Yeah, he has a very iconic
from
voice.
Soviet-era synthesizers to body heat radio, it's time to explore the original score and just some of the radio stations you'll be listening to when you're driving around.
All right, Danny,
Night
here you
City.
go. This is your question the other day. Now we get an answer. But yeah, Keanu Reeves is gonna freaking own this world. I'm
Score
really
is the
excited
main
to see it.
vessel of emotions in both movies and video games, and Cyberpunk 2077 is no different.
It actually took us a long time to find the right color of the music.
Getting that sound together is almost as important as the actual look of the game itself, because the music is really helping you feel this emotional connection to the game.
So one of the main ideas was to take the cyberpunk genre out of the 80s and give it a 90s flair. We took elements from rave, IDM, industrial, and make them fit our narrative purposes.
We've decided that close to 100% of our music would be purely electronic.
That's why we tried to stick to analog synths as much as possible, so it's got a warmth to it.
I'm super proud of the team we've managed to gather for this project.
For me, it was basically my own personal aesthetic matching the aesthetic of the game. When I read the brief, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. I can be myself. I can make music, and it comes from an honest place.
I love the fact that the music in this game is so varied. So we have some tracks that are super dirty, super heavy, and then we have some tracks that are very beautiful and ambient. I'm using all kinds of different effects. So it's been great to be able to experiment with the sound and the style.
It's my first time actually doing any drum tracking for a video game. It's been really exciting. It's been a lot of fun.
It's all about making you feel like a perfect killing machine, because that's what you are basically.
Well, I can do that all day long, so you'll just have to tell me what you like, what you don't like.
Cool. Okay. It's not going to sound like one thing, depending on what part of the city you're in.
We basically scored every quest pretty much with custom assets created specifically for that quest.
We ended up having over 7.5 hours of music in Cyberpunk.
Working on Cyberpunk has just been insane. I can seriously say that I've never worked with such a bunch of mad people in my life, and mad brilliant.
The gear that we use comes out of boutique shops, or they are vintage synthesizers like this Polyvox.
I really hope all this effort put into creating this score pays off with satisfying and enjoyable listening and gaming experience.
Yeah, it could have been on Spotify. Full soundtrack will be there. Here we go.
Hello, Night City. What's shaking, Night City? Good morning, Night City! Your man, Stan here. Ooh, I love this town. Love it like you might love a mother who popped you out on the steps of an orphanage once and now stops you to ask if you got a smoke for her. And now, a shout out to all the lowlifes over at the Atlantis. Ladies and gents, here's that all-time classic in Night City.
Soundtrack is one of the key elements we use to build believable world. We've invited artists from around the world, incredible talents, incredible musicians, to write and produce songs just for us for this project.
The soundtrack for Cyberpunk is insane. So the soundtrack being all the songs that they've got going on, whether it's on the radio or on the background, all these just amazing bands.
We've got over 150 custom genre-bending tracks, all waiting for you to discover them by yourselves.
You know, the reason I wanted to be a part of Cyberpunk is, well, basically I know The Witcher is super sick, and then I actually got to play a preview of the game, which was fucking incredible.
I've always wanted to do something connected to a video game, so I was pretty excited when this came in, and it was like an instant yes.
I was kind of imagining what it would be like being a character in that game. The person that's a musician in this world and this time has grew up in that space.
This isn't just some fun shit, there's also an intellectual and spiritual history to this world that's been constructed for you, you know?
We want to provide you with the soundtrack to fucking shit up. Like, how could you not want to be a part of that?
For those of you who can't wait to hear more from our composers, we're going to be releasing a special 6-track Cyberpunk 2077 EP featuring tracks from the game's original score onto streaming services for you to enjoy for free, and they'll be live at the end of this episode, so you can give them a listen later.
Spotify.
In addition, if you're planning on live streaming Cyberpunk, or if you just want to make videos, we want to introduce you to a new mode that will allow you to disable certain copyrighted tracks.
Oh shit.
We know that for content creators, licensed music can sometimes be problematic. So with this new mode, you'll be able to disable a small number of selected tracks which could cause some issues, replacing them with a different song, helping to avoid any problems. If you're going to be live streaming from console, this will start automatically, but you can toggle it on and off in the options as needed. And for PC players, you'll be able to turn it on and off in the game options. Don't forget, as with all episodes of Night City Wire, if you're tuning in late or if you just want to watch anything again, we will be uploading everything to our channels soon. Now, from Polish to Chinese. When Cyberpunk launches, it will have VO in 10 different languages. So we're going to take a closer look at the Jolly technology, which is ensuring each and every one is as authentic as possible.
So hi, my name is Sarah Watling. I am the CEO of Jolly Research in Toronto, Ontario. In this video, we're going to show you a little bit about Jolly, the software, and Jolly in action within the world of Cyberpunk 2077.
Maintenant, tu vas répondre à mes questions honnêtement, sans détour.
Rayfield's mine.
Скажи заплатить 2 раза, заплатишь 2 раза!
Jolly is a suite of tools and a suite of services that result in what we think is the coolest and best and highest quality facial performance on characters.
Oh,
what they're doing familiar.
It's automatically generated on a face based on audio dialogue, audio speech from a voice actor.
Slow, deep breaths. Your cortisol and adrenaline spiked, but the soft activated your hormone blockers. Nothing happened. You're alive and well.
What Jolly tries to do is it tries to get to the root of what is being expressed in the vocal performance and put that on a 3D character.
That's Rogue. Best fixer in all of Night City.
There is just an incredible amount of performance in this game.
Sure.
My voice is too low.
A procedural solution allows you to animate over and over and over again at tremendous scale. Jolly is what powers every single character in the game of Cyberpunk 2077 in all of the languages that the game has been localized for.
Ahora escúchame. Este mierdas de Anthony Gilchrist. ¿Es tu contacto? Hat Infos zum Konvoi durchsickern lassen?
All you're doing is changing an attribute. For example, speech style. If you wanted your character to shout instead of mumble, instead of issuing a set of commands that redo the animation, instead you click an attribute going from, in this case, mumble to shout.
But you walk. You bleed, but you walk. You bleed, but you walk. You breathe.
If the lip sync is right, you don't notice. If the faces match and match the performance, you don't notice because you're too busy paying attention to how awesome the game is, how much you care about these characters, what you're gonna do. And that's what we want. That to me is, that's the sizzle.
Don't you know you owe the sheriff a word when you pay his town a visit? To tell him what's brought you here. Maybe even over a cup of coffee.
Now we're excited to reveal digital and in-game rewards for Cyberpunk 2077. It's our way of saying thank you for your support. Now, every copy of the game comes with digital downloadable goodies such as the art book, the original score, and a digital comic, all from the Cyberpunk universe. But there's more. You can also claim in-game items for Cyberpunk 2077. For example, you could be rocking the Wolf School jacket for simply connecting the game to your GOG account. And if you have other CD Projekt Red games, such as The Witcher or Gwent, you can get even more. And it works both ways. If you connect the game to your GOG account, you can also unlock special in-game items for Gwent, the Witcher card game, such as the samurai-inspired card and coin back, and the breathtaking title. Now, this new My Reward program is for everybody. No matter which platform you're playing Cyberpunk on, you'll be able to get your digital goodies and in-game items. Now, this is just the beginning, and there'll be more items coming in the future, and we'll have more information on My Rewards soon. As always, don't forget that if you've missed anything or if you just want to watch again, we will be uploading everything to our channels soon. So before we take a look at that new gameplay trailer, we just want to reveal that a number of games media from all over the world have been playing Cyberpunk 2077, and you'll be able to read their latest impressions when this episode of Night City Wire finishes, so you can go and check them out. So now, let's wrap up this episode and take a look at that brand new gameplay trailer.
They got a lock on us. Engine's been hit.
Get us out of here.
I'm losing control.
At CD Projekt Red, we dedicate ourselves to telling immersive stories. Yet with every new project, we set out to make our games bigger, more complex, deeply engaging.
Come on, V. Let's get you home.
Cyberpunk 2077 marries exploration of a vast open world with kinetic combat, story-changing player choices, and robust character development, all to bring you into our vision of the dark future.
You ever feel like a city doesn't give you a choice? You either burn alive in it, or you never existed at all.
The year is 2077. An economic crisis culminating in nuclear conflict has left America in pieces. With most of the continent degenerating into lawless war zones, people from all over have converged on the already overcrowded Night City, one of the world's last great megalopolises. A hub amassing the best in resources and know-how, and home to manufacturers of cutting-edge technologies, Night City continues to offer the promise of a civilized future.
What? No, this isn't happening. Oh, but it is.
But in the city's streets, a merciless struggle for power rages. Gangs, corporate agents, hustlers, religious cultists, politicians, and all manner of criminals strive to outplay one another. Ordinary people get caught in the crossfire.
Looking for justice. In Night City, I seek revenge. Much more feasible here.
In this world, consumed by never-ending conflict, sometimes only an outsider will get the job done.
Elizabeth tells me you have answers for us. I'm all ears.
And that's you, an urban mercenary, a cyber-enhanced gun for hire.
We seem to understand each other. Take this, too.
As a mercenary, you swear no allegiance. You've chosen the outlaw life and trust that your abilities will carry you up Night City's ruthless, underground social ladder.
Heart of Night City. That's it right there.
To thrive as a merc, you need the right combination of gear, skills, and reputation.
Dex had a load to say about you. I hope he wasn't overselling.
With the money you earn, you can turn yourself into a living weapon, buying guns and enhancements in the hundreds. As you roam the city's streets, you gain the experience you need to upgrade abilities and acquire perks. Combine the right skills and gear to create a gunslinger with inhuman reflexes. A stealthy netrunner with command of all surrounding tech. Or practically anyone in between. In Cyberpunk 2077, you steal a prototype biochip that can set you up for life.
Being filthy rich.
When its sealed container is ruptured, the only way to prevent the biochip from failing is to slot it into your head. It turns out it contains the digitized soul of Johnny Silverhand, a dead rocker boy with violence on his mind.
You mean to say there's an actual terrorist in my head, right now?
He's out for revenge. Aims to bring down the megacorp that made the chip.
Do whatever it takes to stop him, defeat him, gut him.
What is in your head can shift the balance of power in Night City. The high and mighty will do anything to lay their hands on it.
Told you I'd end you someday.
The choices you make will shape your story and determine how events unfold.
V, you gotta take him down. That's why we're here.
But not everything in Night City is a matter of life and death. Sometimes it's about style, choosing your look, your ride, your pastime, who's at your side. Choosing how you spend your dirty money. Welcome to the next generation of open-world adventure. Immerse yourself in Cyberpunk 2077.
This game's gonna be incredible. My God. It's just so much. It's so dense. Wow. Wow. This is crazy. So is that it? That is it.
Welcome to the next generation of open-world adventure. Immerse yourself in Cyberpunk 2077.
All right. That's that. So I put it on mute for just a second because I think they're doing an after all events are streamable. I think they're doing an after show, but yeah, wow. I mean, no, I don't have the game. Trust me, I don't have it. I didn't get a chance to play it early for a second time. So I'll actually be interested to see what these new previews are going to be about. But I am definitely not one of them. I keep saying my audio's low. Interesting. My audio shouldn't be low. It wasn't low before. What about that? What about that? Is my audio better now? Sound fine to me. Okay, good. No, I think the game looks incredible. I love this Night City Wire. I love the fact that we got the spotlight put on Johnny Silverhand, and you know, like that last trailer even said, I mean, he's basically a terrorist. I mean, he's obviously looking to get revenge on Arasaka, and he's gonna use you. Wait a minute. Wait, what? What's this? Oh. Wait, what? What's this? Interesting. I'll look at that in a second. Someone tagging me on Twitter. No, but yeah, it looks incredible. I love with Johnny Silverhand that we can't necessarily trust him. And the V has his agenda. Johnny has his agenda. He's like a co-protagonist in the game, and the choices that we make are going to matter and steer the story in certain directions. So really excited for it. And you got to see the skill tree finally in the that last trailer, and you just see this world of Night City that they made, and there's just so much shit to do, man. That's what excites me the most. They're just giving us a sandbox and just letting us go crazy with it. So it's going to be great. I see someone asking me my first playthrough. My first playthrough will definitely be female V. I made that decision a long time ago, so I'm gonna go corpo female V and have some fun with that. Sorry, I'm getting tagged on all these tweets. No, I don't have the game. People think I'm playing the game, but no, I definitely don't have the game. I have not played it since June, and I'm excited for the final product and go from there. And what's this? I know they said there was an after show interview. I'm looking to see if that comes up or not. But do I think the 3080 will be fine in 4K? It better be. I'm actually very curious for the final PC specs to come out as far as playing in 4K with ray tracing, like what your specs will be. The fact that they work closely with NVIDIA, I know DLSS will be involved, but I expect it to be fine in 4K. Hopefully with ray tracing on, it can hit 60 frames. And what's the second playthrough? I don't know. I'll just see where it takes me from there. Probably a Nomad, I would imagine. Oh, it looks like DJ Knight is on, and I know he was in here a second ago, so shout out to him. Let me turn the volume up a little
My
bit.
name is DJ Knight. I'm a full-time space and soft live streamer here on Twitch, and goodness gracious, I'm excited. But I'm also here with...
All right, I will just mute that for now. Yeah, everything's good with me. Appreciate everyone that's hanging out here in the stream. And yeah, as for going back to the 3080 card stuff, yeah, I'll be very curious to see when the specs come out. But seeing how it looked on the Xbox, I mean, PC version, it's going to be amazing. So can't wait for that too. But I'll also say this. Look, all the delays have sucked, of course. But if the delays lead to what we just saw in that trailer and we get this definitive next generation of open world RPG game that Cyberpunk is looking to be, I think it was well worth it in the end. That soundtrack looks incredible. The fact that they're going to enable that streaming mode so that creators won't get copyright strikes, you know, for certain things in the game is great. Looks like 150 tracks is going to be on that soundtrack. They're putting out that 6-track EP for free. I would assume it'll be on Spotify and other places to get. They said it should be available now. I'll have to check as soon as this is done. But yeah, man, this great. Looks absolutely great what they've done with this game. And I also, it's just, I'm all over the place with it. I'm sorry. But, you know, going back to Keanu Reeves, I mean, to see how involved and dedicated he has been to the role, I just think it's going to translate in the game and wind up being incredible. So really excited for that. Do you believe it enough? 660 Ti. I mean, I think if you're playing like a 1080p, 1660, excuse me, 1660 Ti should be fine. Do you think there will be a censor mode for the nudity in a game? That's a good question. I'm gonna say probably not, because The Witcher 3 didn't have one, and this is a dark and mature game. But we'll see. Yeah, haven't seen anything posted about that, so be interested to see. And pull that up. IGN has their 16-hour game preview up. Wow, so they got 16 hours with it. That's wild. All these people, I'm looking at social media. People think there's a character in the game that looks like me. That's funny. That is too freaking funny. Huh, funny. But no, I definitely not me in the game. Does nudity create problems for creators these days? I guess it depends on your audience. I mean, obviously you would need to tag that this is for mature audiences only. But if they do that, then I mean, I don't think it'll be too fine. People should honestly know what they're getting into with this game. I mean, I've talked about it before. It's a dark, mature game, and you know, they're not going to hold your hand with it, which is a good thing. What else here? Let's see. But yeah, overall, Night City Wire is great. Everything in it look really good. So I'm excited. Only 3 more weeks, and then we'll have the game. So can't wait for that. Paris doesn't mean it create any terms of service. I don't know. Can't answer that one. Yeah, I am planning to stream the game. So here's the thing with that. I plan on playing on PC. I hope my one PC is enough to stream it. I'm actually considering building a second PC just so I can have that option. So when I do stream it, but I'll have obviously, you know, pre-made content where I capture, and I want to stream some stuff live as well. But we'll see. Hopefully, knock on wood, hopefully I get a review code for it, and I'll get it a little early before the 10th so I can play it and have impressions and all that ready to go. But either way, I'll definitely have content up, so looking forward to that. And any other questions here? I'm not going to stay on too long, so let's see. How confident are you that they're going to hit it? At this point, it's December 10th. I don't see this getting delayed at all. At this point, we'll get it on December 10th. Let me just say this about it. If I do, great. If I don't, that's fine. I mean, it was never about getting a review code for me. I'm just generally interested in the game, and I just want to play it. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I know there's a few things that I hopefully will have the opportunity to do, and they'll require me getting the game early. But if I don't get it early, that's fine too. I'm just excited for the game, and I just want to play it like everyone else does. Yes, I have a 3080. It is powering this PC right now, and it's been great. All the games I've been playing look and play great, high frames, 4K. The fact that it does HDMI 2.1, and I play on this LG OLED, which is capable of doing it. I mean, everything about it is great. G-Sync, everything. It's really good. So that's why I'm curious to... Sorry, I got distracted by the chat. That's why I'm curious when I do get my hands on Cyberpunk, how the 3080 plays with it. Yes, I do have a 3080 Founders Edition. It was provided to me by NVIDIA directly, so I want to thank NVIDIA for that. Imagine being the bot until the count of the F off. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'm actually curious now to see these 16-hour previews that are up. You said IGN has one up. I'm curious who actually played it. I wonder if it was Ryan. Going over to IGN right now. Let's see. Here we go. Cyberpunk 2077, the final preview. Oh, Tom did it. Right on. Good for Tom. Interesting. Yeah, I'm just looking at some of his quotes. He goes, Cyberpunk 2077 is a surprisingly slow burn with immense amount of options and depth. I can agree. I don't think I've ever seen another game city quite as stunning as Night City. I agree with that. And wow, thought this would have been a little longer. Interesting. Yeah, so I'll scour the net, see what else we see. Does my 3080 have coil whine? I have no, not at all. I have not heard a peep out of this thing. It's been great. Arctic, I'm trying to figure out if I play on PS5 or my gaming laptop. My opinion, Arctic, playing your PS5 instead of playing it. Oof, Paris just delayed the game. No, I didn't. And spell my name correctly. But yeah, I would play on PS5 if honestly, after seeing it on Xbox versus playing it on your laptop. I would imagine the PS5 would be the better experience in that scenario. How do I get a PS5, fam? That one I can't answer, unfortunately. I know these next gen consoles are going to be very hard to find coming into this holiday. Obviously, just pay attention on social media, look for alerts from like Walmart, places like that, go in stock, and just be ready to jump on it immediately when you do. How excited am I? Very. I don't think it's an understatement to say I'm very excited for this game. I mean, obviously the last 2 years have just been insane. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and can't wait. Change this real quick. All right. Just taking it full screen here. Sorry. Just doing the little technical stuff on the side. What has been my, not sure if I've talked about this, but what has been my absolute favorite thing about Cyberpunk so far? That is actually a very good question. What has been my favorite thing about Cyberpunk so far? Good question. I would say from when I played, it was just walking around that Night City. That's probably been my favorite thing, because just the ambiance, the atmosphere that's in the city, like I've said before in the preview, it just feels alive. And I think that translated, that you'll see. It's so hard to explain until you actually play it. What I'm saying, you'll see what I mean. It's just, they've done an incredible job with it. The attention to detail is fantastic. Just some of the dialogue choices and conversations while you're actually in the game have been great as well. But I would say exploring Night City itself has probably been my favorite part. And when I played, I could only walk around Watson. That's just one district, so I haven't even seen the entire city yet. Joe, yes, I did play Cyberpunk, but it was back in June. Whatever this recent preview is, I did not get a chance with that. Yeah, this game, I like the fact that Tom, just peeking at Tom said that it's a slow burn. I want it to be a slow burn. It should be a slow burn. You'll see when you start playing, because there's so many options and things, and you got to peek at that skill tree. There's just creating your V and your character in the way style that you want to play. It should take you time to fully just get ramped up into it. So that's good. Oh, Brandon, I really hope you're right. No, I appreciate that. Now, trust me, CDPR has been more than generous to me already. I have no complaints about anything when it comes to that. I'm just, like I said, I'm just excited to play the game at this point. Just give me the game. I just want to play it. That's all that matters to me. Close this out. Yeah, so I'm actually very interested to read these previews and see what people have to say. A couple more questions and then I'm gonna take off here, but I do appreciate everyone hanging out during the live stream. It was a lot of fun seeing this. Do you think it will be too complex in any of its aspects? I don't think too complex, but you'll see when you get into the hack and stuff. I mean, you need to pay attention to what you're doing for sure. But no, I don't think it'll be too complex. You're gonna play on Stadia. Right on. Any more questions, and then I'm going to get out of here. Oh, Reggie. No, don't worry about it, Reggie. I can't even remember 100% what it is. I'll just say, I know, I like to joke around, have fun. Me and Danny and all that, we joke around on Twitter a lot. Sometimes people jump into conversations with things, and I think it derails a conversation. So if I've ever said anything on Twitter like, hey, let's knock this off, let's not do this right now, it's because maybe I was trying to make a point, or we're having a conversation about something else. And look, I know this chair is the butt of a lot of jokes, stuff like that. But sometimes it gets to be a little too much, and I may try to respectfully come in and it's like, hey, let's not do that right now. Great stream as always. Appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see. Last question here. Do you think they'll have any filler just to make it longer? No, because they actually talked about that they, like with The Witcher 3, definitely had some filler towards the end. Like they realized that, and they don't want to make that mistake this time. So I don't think so. I think any of the quote unquote filler will probably be optional and thrown into side missions, but it sounds like the main story itself is going to be a lot tighter this time. Do you think we're going to have any cross progression? I noticed Holly made the interesting point about connecting your GOG account even on console. I know they played around with this with the Switch with The Witcher 3, but my God, if I could have my PC progression transfer over to PS5 and Xbox, oh yeah, I'd be all in for that. That would be absolutely amazing, because I do want to play on Xbox as well as play on PC, but my first playthrough would definitely be on PC. So let's hope so. We'll see. Yeah, we're not going to get multiplayer probably until 2022 at this point, because I would imagine next year is going to be about the expansions, and then 2022 is probably when you can expect to see the multiplayer. But it wouldn't even shock me if we didn't get it until 2023. One last question, and I'll get out of here. If he has any last thing to say, and then I'm going to take off. Let's say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Not seeing any questions. All right. So again, thank you guys for hanging out for the stream. This was fun, and I will definitely have more to talk about here in the very near future. I have to go back and watch these trailers 1,000 times, and I'll probably have a video or something up soon. But until then, for everyone in the United States, enjoy Thanksgiving next week. Have a good holiday. We will not have any new episode of Gamertag Radio. We're taking a week off, but after that, we'll be back, and I'm sure I'll have more to talk about with Cyberpunk at that time. So again, you guys have fun, and thank you for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it, and we